Welcome everyone to the God of War Ascension Extras video. We got quite a few things to go over, so the first thing we're going to be covering is the New Game Plus. As you can see, starting over in New Game Plus deletes all your data from your normal playthrough. You can select any difficulty that you want, so that's cool, I guess. And you can also select costumes. Costumes are a staple in the God of War franchise. In Ascension, you can only use costumes in New Game Plus mode, but once you do unlock it, you do have quite a few costumes to pick from. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick the olive skin Kratos, aka the Kratos who is not the Ghost of Sparta just yet. And you cannot get any trophies in the Ascension New Game Plus. You can also skip cinematics, not just in New Game Plus, but in general in God of War you can skip cinematics. It's pretty cool that the costume that you're wearing translates into all the cutscenes, because all the cutscenes are rendered in game and they're not pre-rendered. So it's pretty cool that any cutscene you're in, whatever costume you're wearing is what Kratos will have on. So in this case, I'm olive skinned Kratos, so I will be olive skinned Kratos. As you can see, my Blades of Chaos is still powered up from the last time I played this game. All the gear that I have is also fully powered up from the last time I played this game in a lower difficulty. I don't have the Amulet of Ouroboros, the Eldstone of Orcos, or the Eyes of Truth. When I do get them, they will be upgraded to the level that they were last time. All the artifacts that we have collected in our playthrough can also be activated during New Game Plus. They all have different effects that you can see right here. I'm speeding through them, but you can pause at your own leisure to actually read through what each of these effects do. Most of them basically make the game easier for yourself, but some of them do make the game harder for yourself if you want that kind of a challenge. I'm going to go ahead and just activate, I think, all or most of them now just to show off the kind of difference. Yeah, there's not really much to say about New Game Plus. You can use artifacts, you can use costumes. You can only change costumes back in the main menu, not in the pause menu itself. Yeah. Your health and your magic do not translate into New Game Plus. As you can see, I'm back to normal health and normal magic. But I mean, the cheats that you have basically make everything else easier and sometimes more fun and sometimes more challenging, depending. So that's basically New Game Plus. There's not really much to say about it. It's pretty straightforward, all the things you can do. There is a chapter select that we'll go over towards the end of the game that made my collectibles guide much easier to make. But yeah, that's basically all there is to New Game Plus. Not much to it. Let's move on to the next thing to discuss. Okay, so now there's more to talk about than the New Game Plus, because the New Game Plus, there really wasn't that much to say about it. It was pretty straightforward. This is God of War Ascension's multiplayer mode, because yeah, I keep saying God of War of Ascension. God of War Ascension has still, because it's not dead yet. It still has a multiplayer mode. The only game in the God of War franchise to have a multiplayer mode of some kind. This is pretty bonkers. It's pretty popular. People are still using it to this day. So, I mean, a lot of critics though were not big fans of Ascension's multiplayer for various reasons. They felt like it probably didn't really fit in with God of War that much, but it works. It's pretty good, all things considered, the way this whole thing operates. So, you know, I mean, it's pretty cool. So I'm going to talk about it a little bit. I don't know that much about it because I personally have never played the multiplayer mode of God of War Ascension. In fact, when we get to the trophies section later on, you will see that the only trophy I didn't get is for starting the God of War of Ascension. The God of War Ascension multiplayer, because I never played the multiplayer for Ascension. It's not a thing that really interested me with getting Ascension, but it's here and it's apparently pretty good. So let's go ahead and dive into it a little bit. This whole thing that's been playing out, by the way, was the cinematic trailer advertising the multiplayer mode. This footage originally is from Vengeful Torture, by the way, link below. since I never played the multiplayer myself, I am using other people's footage, but again, I'm not monetizing this video. I don't make any money from this. The link to the original video is below. This, by the way, is the cutscene from a different perspective from way back in episode 1 of God of War Ascension. Now we get to see it from a different perspective. We get to see what actually happened to this nameless bald guy that was in the prison of the damned here. We see that he's actually been transported to let's see, the Rotunda of Olympus. This is where people begin their God of War Ascension journey. Basically, you have to pick a god that will act as your patron. You can switch. You don't have to stick with just this one god that you pick right now. This is not a permanent choice of any kind. But you do have to pick one to start things off right now for this tutorial section. You can pick from 5. You can pick from Ares, you can pick from Hades, you can pick Zeus himself, you can pick Poseidon, and that's it. So you got these 4 to pick from. There is a 5th set of stairs there to the right that we'll see in a second, that this Let's Player, that this YouTuber goes to and explores in a second, but basically, there's only 4 gods to pick from. No one knows what that final set of stairs actually does, as you'll see. All the gods have certain special attributes attributed to them. You can see there. You can pause this video to get a closer look at that stuff if you want, because I'm not really going to get super in depth about all that. As you can see, there is a 5th set of stairs here, but again, no one knows what this empty staircase is supposed to be doing here. Maybe it was for another god that didn't make it in at the end of the day, like Athena or something like that, but we don't really know. What we do know is that after you pick a god, you will be given a weapon, and then you will begin to do the little tutorial segment here for the God of War Ascension multiplayer. Basically, you just have to fight some enemies, learn how to do quick attacks, strong attacks, kill these guys, and that's the end of the introductory segment. Then you can actually move into the actual various game modes that multiplayer offers and start customizing your character, start leveling them up, and start actually getting into the meat and potatoes of this whole thing. Because this whole thing that we're doing right now is just the obligatory introductory segment to just get you used to this. In case you've never played a God of War game before or haven't played the single player of Ascension, which I don't know who would buy Ascension just for the multiplayer, but this has to be here just in case, just to have that little fallback there. So we'll just go ahead and let this YouTuber take care of this guy here, of this enemy here, and take them on and learn all the basic things that this nameless champion of the gods, in this case champion of Hades, is going to be able to do during the various game modes. And then we'll go ahead and start actually talking about the game modes and the customization and all that stuff. In fact, let me just go ahead and get started with that. There are a handful of modes in God of War Ascension multiplayer. There is Team Favor of the Gods. It's a 4v4. It requires 2 teams of 4 warriors to kill each other, capture altars, and gain favor from their gods. Bigger maps such as the Desert of Lost Souls, where a chained Titan Cyclops Polyphemus interferes, where a chained Titan Cyclops Polyphemus, oh boy, interferes whenever mortals come too close in the walls of Troy, where catapults are used to damage the Trojan horse. Warriors score favor by killing other participants, favor from capturing altars, and favor for opening chests, which could contain red orbs and additional points of time per captured altar. So pretty standard multiplayer stuff. There's also a 2v2 mode. Players have to kill each other with the goal of gathering 2,000 favor in total. Gods could get involved by sending the Chalice of Hera, which helps warriors who gain it by giving them favor over time. There's Capture the Flag. There's Match of the Champions. It's a free-for-all death match. There's Trial of the Gods, where players have to work together to beat monsters within a certain frame of time. There's Bout of Honor, where 2 players have to battle against each other in small arenas. You'll actually see that in action a little later in this video. And there's also a very deep customization system here for you to create your own God champion here. So various things you can do. You can imbue your character with various abilities, change their appearance to various different kinds of Greek or Greek adjacent kind of looks, various items and such that you can collect and equip on your character. It's very in depth. I have to give credit to Ascension for making this super in depth, like way more than I would have expected for this. Like, I get why people aren't big fans, like why some critics would not be big fans of a God of War game having multiplayer, but I mean, it's really in depth. And also, again, you can switch your allegiance to a different god at any time, and that gives you access to different perks and such that you can equip on your character. So I got to give it credit. I mean, it's super in depth. Here you can see that the PlayStation Store is still very much active. It still has a lot of stuff that you can purchase to enhance your God of War Ascension multiplayer experience. I'm never going to stop saying God of War Ascension. I don't know why I started saying that now, but that's a thing that's going to keep happening, I guess. Again, here we have footage from somebody else, Gamebreaker God. The link to his video is down below to the original video of this stuff. I am doing a cut down version of this just to, not press on too many buttons here and not annoy people too much here. Yeah, this is basically what I expect from God of War at this point. Not from God of War multiplayer. Basically, killing each other, gaining favor, trying to collect the most amount of points before the end of the time limit. Not much more to say here because I don't play the multiplayer, but I did want to show it off just to make sure that you could see that God of War Ascension is the first and only God of War game in the series to have a multiplayer. And it's still available even if you're playing on PS Now, so that's pretty cool. I really don't have much more to say, so let's just move on to the next thing here. Okay, so God of War Ascension was a pretty big deal for Santa Monica Studios and for PlayStation in general. You can see, by the way, that there is an announcement system attached to the main menu of Ascension so that you can actually get updates about the multiplayer mode and stuff. God of War Ascension was a pretty big deal. It came with a lot of bundled content to get people, using their PlayStations and such. It was a pretty large endeavor. This game came with a lot of bundled content, so let's just go ahead and check out all the stuff that this game came with. One of those things is early access to The Last of Us, Naughty Dog's next big game that would be coming out later this same year, 2013, I believe. God of War Ascension gave people free early access to Last of Us, so that was pretty cool, and more evidence that God of War Ascension was meant to be a bigger deal for PlayStation and for Sony and for Santa Monica than it ended up being. Here is the XMB PS3 screen for God of War Ascension. You get some cool music to go along with it as well, so that's nice. And in a moment, we will go ahead and see the actual other bundled content that came with Ascension, with your copy of Ascension when you bought this originally back in 2013. Again, as more proof that this was supposed to be a bigger deal for Sony and for PlayStation than it ended up being. We have a digital manual that we'll be looking at later. There was a demo for the hit indie game Flower, for Sly Cooper, Thieves in Time, Little Big Planet Racing, Journey, another big deal game, Unfinished Swan, Starhawk, PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, a trailer for it, but you can also get some. The game also comes with some codes for extra characters for the PlayStation Battle Royale, the PlayStation answer to Super Smash Bros. That never really took off. Yeah, this game was supposed to be a bigger deal for PlayStation and for Santa Monica than I guess it ended up being, and why the series went into such a long hiatus before we got God of War 2018, the Norse comeback. Anyway, I will leave you to listen to the rest of this nice little theme, and I will see you for the next segment. Bye. Okay, now we have trophies. Not much to say here. I did get most of them in my various playthroughs of Ascension. Most of them you just get for playing the game. Some of them are pretty simple. Some of them are pretty difficult to get, like performing a 1,000 hit combo or hitting enemies off the field with clubs. If you check out the actual original playthrough of God of War Ascension that I did for this channel, the actual 12 episodes, you will see some hints and tricks throughout about how to get some of the more trickier trophies that are listed here. You can pause here at any time to check out the trophies that I have here and the descriptions for getting them. Some of them have some kind of vague descriptions because they're just things you get for doing the story mode, and some of them are pretty difficult. And if you want to see some hints on how to do that stuff, I would recommend you to actually check out the real playthrough of God of War Ascension to actually see how you do that. That's all I have to say about the trophies. There's only one that I didn't get, and the reason why I missed out on the platinum. It's the one for starting the God of War Ascension multiplayer, because again, I never played the multiplayer. You can hear more about my rambling of that in the multiplayer section of this video. So yeah, that's it though. To the next segment. I will not be doing any commentary in this segment. I just want to let you know that now we're going to be looking at the God of War digital manual. So I hope you enjoy taking a look at this. Again, no commentary here. I will see you all for the final segment. Enjoy. Here we just have some images of the actual original PlayStation 3 case for God of War Ascension, just to show you that Ascension was hyped up to be a pretty big deal for Santa Monica and for PlayStation. Again, it's supposed to probably have done better than it actually did. Guys, I really enjoyed talking of God of War Ascension stuff. Right now, we're going to take a look at two final quick things. Basically, we're going to take a look at the chapter select. This has really helped me a lot with. That's something I wish all the God of War games had. This really helped me out a lot with creating my collectibles guide and practicing certain segments over and over again. So I really love that Ascension was smart enough to include a chapter select. I wish all the God of War games had this, but you know, it's fine. It's excellent that it's here. And you can see that I just chose a chapter and we started a chapter there. The last thing we're going to be talking about as Kratos destroys these bugs is the documentary series. This is an excellent documentary series for up-and-coming game designers if you want to check this out. That is linked in the videos below. This, by the way, is just the credits. You can just see the credits here. This is an excellent documentary series linked below for up-and-coming game designers to see the process of making a big-budget video game like this. So, the documentary series is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, I believe 14 videos in length. I wasn't able to find all of them on YouTube, unfortunately, but I did find most of them. So, for people that do want to check this out without having to purchase the game themselves, you can check out the link below to see all this stuff. It's very cool. So, check it out if you're able to. That's it. Bye, guys. Hope you enjoyed.
Hi, I'm Todd Papy, Game Director at God of War Ascension. What you're about to see is a making of video that we've been shooting over about 2+ years. It gives you a good idea of the inception of an idea all the way through to the final product. Keep in mind that this is a work in progress. Enjoy.